For in this ideal place, money would be no more the sovereign lord. Individual merit will have a greater importance than the value due to material wealth and social position. Work would not be there as the means of gaining one's livelihood, it would be the means whereby to express oneself, develop one's capacities and possibilities while doing at the same time service to the whole group, which on its side would provide for each one's subsistence and for the field of his work.
The people of goodwill from all over the world were invited to come and participate in this wonderful experiment. And the genesis of prosperity is embedded in the dream itself when we talk in terms of a cashless society. And to guide us in manifestation of this beautiful dream, a charter was brought forward to guide us through this difficult but joyful adventure, whilst it gives us the guidelines as to how to move forward. It also puts in a very strong base for our participation. And I want to repeat that. To live in Auroville, one must be a willing servitor of the divine consciousness. This is the guiding principle of our participation in Auroville. And in context of this, and considering that the ideal to achieve is a cashless society with a totally new socio-economic order, needs of each individual in every sphere of life are to be taken care of by the collectivity. That is the underlying principle. And this was the beginning of taking on a framework that had been practiced by the mother in Sri Aurobindo Ashram called prosperity. It was when in 1968 Auroville started, the same pattern was established, but based on the very limited resources that were available at that time. So therefore, there was an emphasis on need to be restricted to the minimum. But the evolution of this process had already begun through Pour Tous Distribution Center, of Free Store, Nandini, Sante, and many other activities that are coming into play.
Pour tous means for all. It was a name given by the founder of Auroville. It was a place, an instrument to cover the needs of all the Aurovillians. Even though it might appear in the surface that it's like a shop, an outlet, in reality we don't sell anything here. We distribute to Aurovillians. It functions as a cooperative where the members contribute out of what Auroville gives them for their daily sustenance. Each one contributes an amount that goes into a common pot. And from there we purchase for everybody. We try to purchase at the best rate, and there each one takes whatever they need. Those who can give more, they give more. And they are happy to sustain, to help others who cannot give so much and who need as much as the others, no? So in that sense, it's like a cushion for all those who really have difficulties. And that you don't need to give to somebody. You give to the collective, and the collective takes care of that person. We, of course, keep records of everything, but we don't give bills or show prices because we are not really selling to them. We are just passing to them whatever we buy for everybody. It is just being distributed at the same rate as they are being obtained from the suppliers. And also we need to find more providers who really understand what Auroville stands for, who are ready to give to us at good rates, good products. We need to find good organic producers. And we are here in the south. Sometimes it's not so easy. We are far from the centers, the cities. So we would like to establish a net of contacts. For that, sometimes it is difficult. Our second challenge is that we are moving towards a distribution in bulk. and avoid as much as possible the packaging, because that means a lot of waste. So we have started already. We are developing different dispensers for the bulk items, but for that we need to invest also in making it more effective and more professional. No? So we are learning how to save money, how to save wastage, how to save packaging, how to offer better quality to our Aurovillians at the minimum effort and at the minimum price. We try to provide as much as possible items made in Auroville and as much as possible healthy items. In the future, if more products from Auroville come, we will be able to do in-kind even distribution without having to look at the cost of items. No? So we are building that system now. So it's a constant growth. And then it has given to us the possibility of getting to know each other, because Pour Tous is also a meeting point for our Aurovillians. And the possibility of sharing more, which is very important when you are building a community. No? The possibility of sharing our resources, our energy, of helping each other. No? For me, this has been an experience, a very rich experience. From the human point of view, no? To be able to work for your community in a spirit of service, no? And not because you are getting a financial profit out of it, but because you want to offer to your family, your community members, the best you can give, no? And your relation to them is very is based on love, based in fraternity, no? And that is very rich, no? And to be able to experiment together what it means, this real fraternity and this real prosperity. Because the prosperity for us is not to accumulate more, but to really have whatever one needs without having to worry about what I'm going to eat tomorrow. And at the same time, not to have to work to generate more profit and then get more and spend more, but to just take whatever you need. That for us is the prosperity. And then be able to dedicate a lot of time to develop yourself, to learn, to be with others, to enjoy the nature, to respect the nature also, no? And for that, yes, to have the basic covered is a great help, no?
Prosperity is the system of internal organization to provide for the basic needs of all the community members. So Solar Kitchen, apart from several other kitchens which are substantially smaller, is filling this place of providing nutrition to the Aurovillians, and it's part of the prosperity scheme. So one idea is that every individual of the community has free time to give his or her service without having to go to the shop and buy a vegetable, cut it at home, cook it at home, eat it at home. So this is a major provision which helps a lot of Aurovillians to have substantially more time for their work. We get quite some good support through the sun energy, in the sense that we have a bowl filled up with mirrors and a central beam where we pump up water, and through the concentrated sun rays the water gets changed into steam, so we can cook or boil in a very short time a very big amount of food, soup, milk, whatever. So this is not only saving us a lot of time, but it is saving us up to 30% of our energy requirements on sunny days. We start with the solar power around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it is used until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is accompanying the cooking, and it is helping us also to have enough hot water for the dishwashing afterwards. Solar kitchen philosophy, if you can call it like that, is largely to cook what is grown here. This is a very clear guideline from the mother. We should eat our own food, and we should grow our own food, and we should take care that in this food there are no harmful toxic substances. We are still in the process to create it. Number one is that still a lot of land is missing, and the land has become very costly in the meantime. And number two is that not so many people are interested in farming. One has to add that farming needs a lot of financial support to be run professionally, we can say. There is the option of small town gardens. That is a very good idea, but there is also the need, especially for large scale provision. Like in the solar kitchen, we cook 1,200 lunches, so you need a lot amount of food to create the lunch every day for everybody. So our menu plan is largely consisted of vegetables and grains which are grown locally inside Auroville or in the closer bioregion. And there are many efforts to include the bioregion more and more, and to create a collaborative field with the bioregion and the Auroville farmers. Since Auroville is an international community, we have, of course, international tastes and food interests here. So we have the vegan movement, we have the vegetarian movement, then we have the local movement. We have all kind of movements here, but we strictly don't use any meat. The food is prepared also largely in a local way, because our team consists of a main Tamil cook who has now 25 years of experience. We try our best to keep everybody who comes here to eat happy and healthy. Maybe there will be created a small kitchen for very special needs people. I think this is most probably the next step. Now, what we do in the kitchen is that on one hand we have certain hygienic rules which came from the mother. One thing is that you really have to use uniforms and hair cloths, so no hair comes in the food, and you wash your hands, which is very basic. On the other hand, we start every day with a prayer, and we all know, and that is something I think the whole kitchen team knows, is that this solar kitchen is the kitchen of the mother. If I look at the time when I started in the kitchen and where I'm now, there's a huge development, and I'm also grateful in a way for this working place here, because if you would, for example, mainly sit at home and read a book, you could always feel very nice and happy and maybe even think you have no fears. But if you work in a big central place like Solar Kitchen, you have constantly so many challenges to face, and you actually cannot really fool yourself where you are. And this was also very clear for mother. We all have to work. It's not enough to meditate somewhere, but we have to put into practice what we want to develop in ourselves.
The whole theme behind Auroville is to collectively develop a level of consciousness in terms of a spiritual way of life, where you offer your capabilities, your talent, your knowledge to the best of your capacities, and in return, you take from it what you basically need. And as your level of consciousness grows, your needs become less and less. And therefore, what you create is much more abundant than what you take. And in that context, the prosperity is not limited only to the specific of having day-to-day needs and clothing and shelter, but it means that as willing servitors, which actually means that you are taking on a path of karma yoga. And as the term stands, it means that what you do is not in terms of expecting any benefits from it, but offering the best you can in the service of the divine.
From the beginning of the Auroville, mother started with many services in Auroville. This is one of the service. It's called free store. Free store is sharing with the clothes without money exchange. The service, and when you enter this place, like you forget just seeing the clothes to feel free to come in and spend little time and feel relaxing the colorful clothes. It's a very, very beautiful service, and it provides many Aurovillian a lot of sharing. They bring their clothes and they give their clothes to other people to share, and if the person needs a clothes, they also take. So that's how we share within the community. I see more and more people are participating in the service, and it's very welcoming, and they are very joyful and enjoy this place. And being not only the clothes, it's bring the people together. There is many way when they enter here, they see their friends, they share, they stand and they look at the clothes, they do their sharing, and they say the service, they feel that they every time joy to come in. Wherever you go, you have to play with the money, you have to buy with the money. But here, it's a, we get our clothes only in free store. What I'm wearing, it's from free store. People usually they bring the clothes with good condition. We expect that they bring the good condition to maintain the service, because we don't have the washing machine all to clean, and we don't have the amma. When the people brings the clothes, they drop in this basket, and then we take the clothes one by one and look whether it's torn or misstrained, or if it is good condition. Then we take only the good condition clothes and we hang. We have the category of display with the dresses, blouse, and pants. And mostly we have ladies garments, and we have the also for children and for the babies, newborn babies, and also for 1 year we also has item for them. And sometime if there is a clothes with tear and the button is missing, the elastic need to be fixed or zip. So these are the basic alteration, repair and alteration. We also have the tailoring section that we do also for free store work. But I have really a very talented tailor. He understand very beautiful, very very neat. The work also done very neat. Sometimes they know this work will be very difficult, we don't know, but when we does the work, how did you manage to make this work very beautiful? We don't see where was the tear. People not only brings the clothes, we have also boots, shoes, CDs, and a lot of the children toys it comes, and a lot of things are now people are bringing to exchange and give also. We are facing little difficulties to run with one Aurovillian, maintain the tailoring section, and one for the internal checking the clothes. But throughout whole morning, like when we started at 9, from 12:30, the flow of clothes is a lot, and one person can't manage at all. Previously, we had two tailors working with us, and now we didn't have enough budget. So the budget group only located one tailor. So, but it is not enough to maintain, because there's a lot of more and more works we're receiving. And soon I hope we are going to get one more tailor to do a better and good service for the community. We need actually a bigger space to do a lot of display, because a lot of clothes comes and we have a very limited space, and the tailoring section is also not to have enough space. So in the future we might have one for the display and one some space for the tailoring section separate, that we could concentrate more into tailoring section, because very precise work for the tailoring section to combine this in one place is we find out very difficult.
Originally, in the beginning, Nandini started that it was part of this prosperity that whoever lived in Auroville and worked in Auroville, they got the basic needs covered, which was mainly food, but included also basic clothes or a pair of chappals. Now, we have members, and the members pay a monthly contribution. With this, it goes all in one pot, and with this we can buy at good prices, because we can buy bulk, all the different clothes and household items, which the people can come and pick up. Nandini is not a store. We are clearly a service, in the sense of There is no direct exchange of money. If we have the chance to buy, like at a good price, some new clothes or some new material, but it's a reduced amount, it's like we get 100 pieces, and we have to share that. It's not that just because you are the first, you can then take 3, 4, 5 pieces. It's very clear. We share, you get one, and then the next person also gets one. When I see how tiring it is to go and do those purchases, often in big wholesale stores that Aurovillians don't have to go, they have the energy and the time to giving another service to Auroville instead of having to run around and find some t-shirts or some chapels.
We have actually separated different sections here inside the storage. We have men's sections, we have women's section, we have children, that's boys section, and also the girls section. And we have all the basic requirements and ready-made material. You can name whatever you want, we have it.
I love clothes, I love nice material. I love when people feel good about themselves because they look good. It's not very important, but somebody here is needed. It's a good real Auroville service. So I give my time and energy to here. You know, there are actually 2 parts of Nandini. One is the Nandini distribution, that's here. And there's the second part, that's the Nandini tailoring, where people can get their own designs or copies of clothes they have. There are some different materials, some different cloths that people can choose and then get it tailor-made.
For the moment, Nandini Distribution, who's the ready-made, and Nandini Tailor, where I have 7 tailors, is separated. We really want to join this Nandini together. So the idea and really the aim of the future, the hopefully really short future, is to bring Nandini together in top of Pour Tous, close to the solar kitchen, where actually it's an area of prosperity, what we call in Auroville, where all the service will be provided to all the Aurovillians without still this no movement of cash, no movement of it's a basic need without having valuation of your wealth.
The joy of giving comes out so beautifully. Such a selfless endeavor and such a radiance on the face of everyone that has spoken about their activities. But at the same time, there is a certain sadness that even in almost 50 years of our endeavor, we have not been able to carry it forward to its ultimate goal of a completely cashless society. What is evident that we, in this year of celebration, have to take the vow once again as willing servitors of divine consciousness to participate wholeheartedly in making this dream of cashless society possible in the soonest possible time.